All right, everybody, it's the Arty 84 show live here from quarantine, episode 148. It's been a marathon. This is we've been filming all night long because we are animals, and we are media tycoons, if you will, But as always, to the right of me, we have
wherever my box is.
Adam,
my box,
Mr. Adam Mallet, and of course, the OG himself, Ryan Glover, below us right there. And Ryan, we got two special guests tonight. Would you like to introduce them for us?
Of course I would. First, I'll introduce Ray Ray, the gorgeous, all-natural sweetheart who can't wait for her next sexual encounter. Fights against slut-shaming and is known in some circles as the whore you've been waiting for. She's the rock star, all-star porn star who creates her own content as well as working with amateur and independent studios. Before adult, she was a medic and sergeant in the military, which helped her hone her exquisite physique. When Ray Ray isn't filming, you'll find her working out, looking for a recreational gangbang, hanging out with her pets, or drawing and painting.
Damn.
And our next guest is reggae singer Taurus Riley, who is over the past few months, many of us have tapped into the simpler things in life and become more appreciative of time, family, and learned about ourselves. International reggae singer Taurus Riley is no exception, has gone one step further to documented times by recording his album titled Healing, set to release on Friday, August 28th. Taurus Riley is taking the past 4 months to escape into music despite the 3 p.m. curfews in Jamaica and various parts of the island of Jamaica being on lockdown during quarantine.
Wow. Damn. All right, so Taurus, you're down in Jamaica.
Wow.
And Ray, where are you?
Get an applause sound in there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So Taurus is in Jamaica. Ray, where are you located right now? Vegas?
I live in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, that's way different than Vegas. So where? Columbus, Ohio.
Oh no.
So we're going international tonight. So far on the show tonight, we've had California, we've had DMV,
Chicago.
Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, and now Jamaica.
My brain's broken. Like, we can kind of relax a little now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the last 2 hours we've had to be a little bit more, serious, and it was good. It was positive, and now we can kind of relax more though.
And have a little fun, right?
Yeah.
Ray, like, I'm sure like you want to go into a situation where you're filming that you're having a little fun, right? You don't want the stress level, right?
Of course.
You just gotta
I always have fun.
Yeah.
Ray, we're on Facebook. God damn it, tone it down.
So Columbus,
I'll
Ohio.
keep it PG. I'll just say group therapy.
Yes.
Session.
I like the recreational gangbang that Ryan presented right
I know. They have to Google the term.
It seems like something you find like on a personal ad on Craigslist. Like, it's where I found Ryan and Adam. We found them on one of those personal ads for recreational gangbangs. Then we filmed the radio show. It was amazing how it happened, literally like that. So, So Columbus, Ohio. You're not filming in Ohio, are you? Or do you?
Yeah. What?
So I have a group of guys here that I have come over every couple weeks and I film with them. But it's super strict and it's been hard with what's happening in the world to get the amount of guys that I want. One-on-one is not really my thing. I've done it so many times that I need at least 2 guys in the room to be happy. So, I mean, I have to keep it PG, but unless something super special happens or you have a lot of spunk, then I want more than 1 guy.
Okay. So when you
want
say
the bukkake just everywhere.
When you say
yep. All over. Yep. That's my jam.
When you say
it's like a donut, that's my thing.
When you say the amount of guys, what's the number? I mean, is it 4, 5? Is it whatever? Like, is there a?
Are you asking like me how many?
Well, yeah, you said it was tough to get the amount of guys that you were looking for with like the restrictions and stuff like that. Like, what would you typically like? What would the number you want that's tough to achieve?
Oh, I would love as many as I can get.
Okay.
My next level is like 50. I've done 31, so my next is 50 guys.
Wow. Jeez. Look at Terrence. Yep. He's already planning his trip to Columbus, Ohio. He's like, where can I get my flight?
Yeah. Oh.
Damn. Yeah. So how do you recruit? Like, do you is there an ad? Like, are they answering like an ad on a newspaper or something? Like, or are they all professionals? Kind of like just kind of getting, you know.
Well, when I first started doing it, I lived in Colorado, and there are established networks in Colorado that I got in with, and I would tell them I want 15 guys on this day, and here are my requirements, and they would get the guys for me, which was awesome. Wow. So I got to do multiple 20-plus guy events in Colorado with them.
Wow.
And then last year, was in New Zealand all of last year, so I lived there for a year.
Okay.
And I got on a few sites, swinger sites, and I put up pictures and ads, and eventually got guys that way. So
that's one way to do it.
I always got to ask this because I'm always fascinated, is how does something like this affect like your personal life? Like, do you date outside of the adult film world? Like, I can't see a guy being like, all right, you're going to go bang 15 guys tonight. Have a good night, sweetie. You know?
So I actually have a partner. I've been with him for 5.5 years. We were actually supposed to get married in June, but because of what happened, we had to push our wedding. But he fully supports me. He helps me recruit guys. He watches, enjoys it. So we work as a team together. So.
Is he in the industry too, or is he just kind of in the background?
No. So he's an academic. We're actually here in Columbus because he's doing his PhD here. So.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's interesting.
So,
it's really pulling back the curtain. So how we ask this question all the time when we have adult actresses on it, but how did you get into it? Like, or was it something you always wanted to do, or did you kind of just fall into it, or did you meet someone who got you into it?
So I actually never thought I'd actually do porn. The main reason was I love sex and I love the recreational gangbangs. So I was afraid that if I started doing it professionally, I would start hating what I love doing.
Yep.
And that still might happen sometime down the line. I've only been doing it professionally for maybe 8 months now.
Okay.
And so eventually I might be like, I don't want to do this anymore, but doing the recreational stuff and doing the large gangbangs will always be a part of my life, regardless. So
it's like the same reason I never wanted to get a job at Fenway Park. Like, because I'd feel like if I had to go to Fenway Park every day, I would hate going to Fenway Park, you know, and seeing Red Sox games. So I understand that. That makes sense. But when you started doing it and you started being successful at it, you just kind of just go along with it, I guess, right? And if it's working and you're making money at it, like, why not? So obviously you're in Ohio and you have people that travel and stuff, but I don't know, is Ohio a big mecca for the industry, or if you wanted to go forward, you have to go to like LA or Vegas or go in that area?
So my main objective right now is to get signed with someone. That way I can plan to go to like LA, Miami, or Las Vegas and do a few weeks there and get in a lot of shoots.
Okay.
So that's my main plan at this point. But really the main reason I'm doing most of this is to, for one, show women, be a role model for them and be like, you can have sex with as many people as you want. This is how you do it safely, and you don't need to feel bad for it. That's my main objective.
Okay.
Doing this.
But you're not social distancing.
No.
I'm just messing with you.
I have been doing my best.
Yeah.
You know, I've done a lot of threesomes with just like 2 people, but and we wear masks.
Yeah.
Except I don't wear a mask because you can't, you know.
There's always COVID porn, you know.
But with a mask,
so back on that, to like, you know, the quarantine and the social distance and all that stuff. So you have the people that come over. Obviously when you're shooting in like, you know, big production companies and stuff like that, they have the protocols where everyone has to be tested and all that stuff. And so now you're kind of doing it on your own. So are you responsible for making sure everyone's up to date on testing and everything? Okay, so you have no one who's kind of overlooking the stuff other than yourself, right?
No, I have to keep myself safe because, like, if you get something that can end your career real fast.
Yeah.
So it's not worth it to me. Anyone that I shoot with is always tested within the same time frame and requirements as, like, professionals.
Okay. So we've talked to some adult stars in the past, and, you know, I've asked the question always, is there a script you go by, or do you kind of just play it by ear? And sometimes I get both. But what you do, it seems to be a little more kind of, I don't know how you could script it, right? I mean, I think having multiple people there would be a lot more difficult than having just kind of a one-on-one thing where you can have kind of set a plot, I guess, to an extent. So how does it go? Walk us through like a typical day of how would you'd get, how would you would start and how would you do the production and whatnot?
So normally what happens is the guys show up and we do all the checking of tests and model release forms, get all the paperwork out of the way. And then normally I do a lot of research into the type of shoot I want to do. So let's say I'm doing a double penetration shoot. I'll look up tons of different videos, different things people have done, different photos, and then I try to recreate those the best I can. So I'll be like, we're going to do this like normal DP, and then we're going to do reverse DP, and then we're going to do side DP, and then standing if we can. And then it kind of works from there. And so I try my best to recreate those of what I see other people doing. And then usually I either end with like cream pies or like multiple cum shots, and usually that's how it goes.
So who's shooting? Do you have a crew that comes and films it, or are you setting up your own cameras and you working your own shots?
So my partner shoots all my content for me. Okay. I have a super nice phone, and I have 3 light sets, and he shoots it all. He knows how to get all the good angles and what to look for. So
you're basically doing what Adam's doing right below me. He has that little light set up behind him, and he uses his camera to film his. Yeah.
I have one like right up there.
Do you ever use green screen effects, like to make, maybe you want to do it on the moon? On the moon, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
It's always an option.
I wish that would be cool. I'd much rather actually go somewhere.
Yeah, no, it'd make more sense. But during COVID, it's tough to go places. So like, like I'm on Cinderella's Castle. I really want to get the Disney niche. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just thinking of ideas because
Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah.
Interesting. So if you're only doing a few months, and you're in Ohio, it seems so. It's an industry that's obviously makes money, right? There's no short of people who are looking to watch anything. We were watching, I guess, one of your films, and I was talking to Adam about the people that were writing with Shopee on you. And, so I was trying to piece it together. And were they mocking their spots? Was that essentially what they were doing, or was it kind of just like I was trying to put it together? What was the concept behind that one?
Which one?
You were kind of like they were writing on you with like a marker.
Oh, so that's just like degrading me. So like writing bad terms on me, like cum slut and like, yeah. So that was like one of the events I did in Denver. I had a few guys show up and they wrote things on me. I also have like temporary tattoos that I wear that say like cum slut and all really bad degrading things because I like that and I proudly wear those terms. Like I think slut is empowering. Like to take that word back in an empowering way is amazing. So
there's definitely a niche for this. People who watch that stuff. I mean, like anything else. I was actually curious because I was watching. I was like, were they mocking their territory? Like I was like making sure like this is I got this geographic location and you can't go over there, but which I wouldn't. I mean that's always a possibility. You never know what you're gonna see, right? I mean maybe that's an idea you use. Maybe you give everyone a Shopee when they walk in, right? And you're like, all right, just, take this is where you're gonna go. I guess I don't know.
Well, if there's 31 though, like you can only go like 3 places.
Real estate is very limited at that point, right?
Yeah.
So I assume you never find a shortage of people who want to participate, right? Are they usually professionals, or they like sub-amateurs, or are they people that you just answered an ad and kind of
interested in what that crowd's like?
I'm sure you get some interesting
for
people.
My recreational stuff?
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just regular guys, and so I have like a lot of requirements to weed guys out for my recreational stuff because not just everyone can come. Like, I try not to have sex with anyone over 45 because I'm not into old people, I don't have any daddy issues whatsoever. He's very present. So,
does he know? Wait, back up though. Does your family know?
No.
So, but like, what do you tell them you do?
So my plan is to get back into school full time. So that's the reason I'm doing this is to pay for school basically.
Okay.
But so they think I'm just a broke college type student who's here with my partner doing his PhD.
And there's no chance of them knowing. at all.
They might find out sometime.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, we have a surprise on the other line about to.
I mean, if it ever, I've played the conversation in my head multiple times, but I was raised in a household that I was told not to have sex until I was married.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
you just don't do it. So it's not sex positive at all. So it would definitely be a conversation. Either they're like, "That's terrible, don't you need to stop," or we wouldn't talk about it at all, which is not an answer.
Yeah.
So.
Was that because it was a religious household?
Yeah. So my parents are Christians. They're not like crazy, but they were very strict on that.
Okay. Where'd you grow up? Was it in Ohio or?
No, I was born in Idaho, and then I moved to Colorado when I was about 12.
Colorado. Okay, so damn, yeah, so it's the middle of Idaho's the middle of nowhere. I mean, if you think about it, Jesus.
Well, I grew up in a very small place in Colorado too. My high school class had 32 people in it.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back on what Adam was touching on a little bit, are you ever concerned that someone that you may have worked with, or like God forbid a fucking cousin or something like that, stumbles across your work and notices you? Like,
I mean, my face is out there.
Yeah.
And I put it out there purposefully to show people that I'm proud of what I do. I love it. You know, it's part of who I am, and if someone judges me because of doing it, then that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah. So I guess you could prepare yourself for a conversation you may have to have at some point going on, right?
Yep.
Like, so it's not
someday.
Like, yeah.
But I mean, it's a big part of who I am, and like that's me basically telling people this is me, and if they can't embrace me, then sadly that's something that we'll have to work through or not. So.
Whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, life's hard. I mean, if you can find something that you enjoy, do it. You know, that's what I always say. You know?
I mean, I tried to.
You're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, I at least have one person in my corner that fully supports me, which is great. So.
Do you get a lot of hate online? Because, like, you know, and stuff, everything. Like, I do like a lot of interviews and stuff, everything. I've interviewed you before, and I get these crazy people, like, you know, who leave messages and stuff to say like, "Demon will burn in hell."
Oh, Jesus.
The crazy thing is that I don't get too much stuff.
Yeah.
Most of it's really positive, to be honest. A lot of the times it's women who message me and they're like, "It's so awesome to see that you're doing this. It shows me that I can do it too. And like, you know, you can maybe tell me how I can do it successfully." Like, I get a lot of positive messages, which is awesome. The only issues I've ever had are either with photographers getting kind of crazy on me and not giving me my photos.
Okay.
Or an event organizer that I did an event with ended up blowing up on me and started writing things on Twitter about me, how that I had herpes, and like I showed up like high on meth to the event, and like was like tweeting these things out and telling like agencies not to work with me.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like,
Jesus, what the?
Yeah, it wasn't good. So.
God, yeah, I tried doing the same thing you're doing to pay for college too, but it was tough to get 21 girls around.
Well, I think you might not be able to keep up.
I don't know what I
one guy, I don't know. It'd be hard.
I could barely handle.
You'd have to have stamina for that.
Barely handle one. You know what I mean? I'm a very simple soul. You know what I mean? Even to wrap my mind around two, it just seems like a lot of work to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
they have to be able to work with each other. You know.
Yeah, that's the problem. To find two girls who are going to work together. You know, guys work together all the time. You know what I mean? They'll be like, yeah, you know, if Adam, Ryan, and I were like, yeah, let's just we could work, we could figure this out. You know what I mean? I'm sure there wouldn't be an issue. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, that's crazy. So religious household doing this. Where's the finish line? Once you achieve the point where you go back to school and you do what you want to do and all that stuff, do you think this is something you continue, or do you think this is kind of like point of my life and then you're gonna end it? But I mean, if your partner's cool with it, then it doesn't seem like there's a reason to stop. If you're bringing in income, I guess. I mean, that's the way I would look at it. Like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to be a physician assistant. That's the end goal. So once I actually get my license, I'll stop doing anything professional, just because having a medical license and doing porn is just like you don't do that.
It's a fantasy. It's more
that
of
could be a problem.
you know, it's more of a fantasy.
So-
you know, when your nurse is hanging over you, like, oh man, it would be great if my nurse was a porn star.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, let's go to the on-call room. Like, I'll probably be that type of person just because I'm naturally like inclined to be slutty like that. But I'll be like, we had a really hard case. Let's go like work it out.
Where are
But,
these hospitals?
yeah.
Hard case.
So that's the end goal. And once I get that, I'll probably keep doing the recreational events until I no longer can.
Yeah.
I can no longer get the guys or whatever.
I don't think you're gonna have a problem with not getting gas. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean,
But professionally, I'll probably stop at that point.
yeah.
So.
I had a friend of mine who went out to Vegas and he went to one of the swingers clubs and he was there on this particular night. There was this lady there and he told me that like her husband or boyfriend was there and there was dudes like lined up like 50, 60 deep, like an assembly line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, that's pretty impressive to have this for the girl to be able to withstand
Yeah.
50 dudes. I mean, what the hell is that like? I mean, is it like on to the next one, or is it just like kind of like you just are you pushing through it because it's like your job, or is it like essentially is it enjoyable? Are you like sitting there and being like, you know, this is actually a good time. I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
So all of the really large events I've done, I've never been paid for them. I do them because I love it, because it's who I am. Being surrounded by guys, by cock, by all that it just makes me come alive. I enjoy it so much.
Okay.
And then I'm also extremely humbled that they're just there for me. You know, I'm like, oh, all these guys are here for me. It feels really great.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm kind of like a video game in a sense that. So I have like a meter. So the more cum I get, and the faster the happier I am, and like the more motivated I am to keep going in an event.
Yeah.
But the longer it takes guys to come, or like if it takes like half an hour for one guy to come, I'll be like starting getting frustrated, and I'll be like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh wow.
Are you ever like too sober? It's like, what if you're done and then like your significant other is like, I'm horny, let's get it on. You ever like, God damn, like I just
No.
had sex for
That's normally me. So at the end of the event, I'll like go into the room and we'll be together, and I'll be like, now it's your turn, and he'll be like, you just had sex with 31 guys, aren't you tired? And I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's your turn.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm kind of like the Energizer Bunny. I can just keep going.
It's amazing.
I take those little energy shots that you take for long distance running before I do an event.
Okay.
So I have all of the caffeine and the carbs and everything that I need. And I usually don't stop an event. A large one goes for 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, about straight.
Yeah.
And I usually,
cardio right there.
Yeah, I usually don't stop until everyone else is content and everyone else has came. And then as soon as I get in the shower, it's over.
Do you give like a time limit to a guy, like when he goes up there, if he's taking way too long, do you be like, come on, dude, like get your shit together?
Yeah, normally if it takes him more than 20 minutes of me just like straight on like going at it, then I'll probably be like, you need to like go, you know, work on yourself or.
Oh, shit.
You know.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, because some guys get stage fright, right? And they're like I can't perform, and like they're sitting there like a limp potato. You know what I mean? I can understand that and especially when you're trying to like get through the crowd, you're probably looking over, you're like, damn, like I got somewhere more to go.
Misconception. A lot of people think I do all the guys at once. I don't normally do it that way. What I do is normally if I set a large event, I'll do hour slots.
Okay.
So like from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and then like I'll slot like 10 people per hour.
Gotcha. So you get some time to kind of chill a little bit between. All right.
That way there's less guys in the room, and I'm not anxious with like 30 guys who's like jerking off or whatever in the room. And logistically, normally I get a really nice like 2-bedroom suite at a hotel.
Oh, okay.
And you can get 10 guys up in the room if you like, you know, strategically bring them in and certain exits and whatnot. But 31, they would notice that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a lot of work too. So even if the 10 people coordinating to get them up there, I mean, so does your partner who films also help with the coordination of getting the guys up there? And how do you get a guy to leave? I'm sure you get some people that some dudes just want to just chill, right? I mean,
There's gonna be some weirdos.
Yeah, like a guy who's just like.
So it's pretty. You're supposed to leave. Like you have the hour.
Yeah, I mean you're
and
supposed
then
to.
There's like a whole nother 10 guys that are gonna come in. So
yeah,
unless I know you really, really well and I like you, then you could possibly stay around, but it's kind of like you need to leave when your hour's up.
I mean, you're supposed to. I mean, that's the nice thing. It's the professional thing to do. But, you know, we all know that guy who's like. Me and Adam know a guy who would probably be like, "Hey, can I hang out and watch a little?"
Yeah. He'd think you're gonna marry him like next week.
Yeah, he'd fall in love with you. You know what I mean? So, jeez. So, a lot of.
I do have a question. I do have a question, actually, because I wanted to ask this, because I've been surprised by the last two adult film people who have been on, who have mentioned this, and it kind of just surprised me. What are you talking about? That they said that they were surprised at how much, when they went into porn, how much they realized they enjoyed, like, foot play. And I'm like, that sounds so fucking weird to me. Like, but, like, it kind of just threw me off, because I think feet are really weird. Like in a sexual way, but like all the last couple of adult film actors have been like, no, I never realized how much I like foot play until I got into porn. Weird. How do you feel about foot play?
So I've given a few foot jobs, and like I've let guys suck on my toes, and I've actually put my foot in a guy before.
Oh,
I was just curious.
All right, rewind.
So weird.
Hold on. Adam, I think here's the point. She put her foot in a dude.
Yeah.
So
there's only two possibilities where the foot could go, and I'm assuming it's not the mouth.
Yeah. So, but I don't get very much enjoyment. I get more enjoyment from the person enjoying it. So one of my main kinks is seeing the joy on people's faces and me making them feel good, men or women. Mm-hmm. So if that's what you like and you enjoy that, then I can certainly cater towards it. But I don't get anything personally from it. So.
Speaking of people feeling good, you recently had a contest called Win a Day with Ray. You know,
I
did. So how did that go? Because I believe you picked a winner, right? Have you shot the scene and stuff and everything, or? So
he's actually coming in tomorrow for us to do the scene. So I don't know how it's going to go yet. But he's a really nice guy. So I'm hoping it goes well tomorrow.
So break it down a little bit. So it's a contest, Win a Day with Ray. How did that go down? Like, what was how does one enter? How does one get picked? How do we get the winner for that?
So it was actually pretty simple. All you had to do was like subscribe to my Snapchat Premium, subscribe to my website, and then follow me on any of my social media platforms that you already had. So like. If you didn't have Reddit, like, don't get Reddit. But if you did, like, follow me.
Okay.
And then I just randomly drew a person after, like, a month of time. And he was the lucky winner, so.
And what was his reaction? Was he surprised? Was he excited? Like, I mean, it's like.
Yeah, he was excited. I mean, basically the only expense he had to pay for was his TTS test.
Okay.
And the rest, the flight, the hotel, the food, like we're taking him out to dinner at a nice place tomorrow. All of that is paid for him.
So he flies in. How long is he there for? A night, 2 nights?
Just a night.
Okay.
And then he'll probably leave Saturday or Friday midday.
Okay. So he flies in. So he gets his test obviously done ahead of time. Gets his results. Those are usually turn around like 48 hours, something like that.
Yeah, normally 24 if you get like on the right day.
Okay, so you get that. So he's ready to go. He has his paperwork. He flies in. So how would it go down? So you take him out. You get him a little comfortable. I guess that's probably the best thing, right? To get comfortable for you and kind of get familiar, not getting thrown into the tiger cage right there off the plane. But so you're talking to him. So do you talk about what the scene's going to be like or what you're going to be doing? Or is it kind of like when it's time to shoot, you're just going to kind of, play it by ear and see how it goes?
So, he actually gets his own video out of it. So he gets his own personal video with me of whatever he wants. So like we were talking about rope play or whatever he wants. Wow. He gets his own personal video that he gets to keep. And then I will shoot a video with him that I am going to put on my website. So.
Okay. When you do the videos, typically with dudes, usually it's usually you're the focal point, obviously, right? So a lot of those guys are kind of like, you know, John Does. You really don't see their faces. I mean, unless you can recognize like a distinct, like, you know, birthmark on their penis, you really wouldn't know if it's a certain person or not when you break it down to. I guess that gives an element of comfortability with someone, right? Because like if they're doing it kind of like, you know, on the deal, the guy's like a stockbroker on Wall Street, but he doesn't really want to know, you know. So obviously, if the guy who wins, do you showcase him, or do you kind of keep it on the DL and just be like, you know, this guy won from, you know, Tennessee, and that's it, you know?
I put out his name. I asked him before if I could put his name out. He said it was fine.
Yeah.
So when he first won, I was like, this guy, his Twitter handle, I put it out that he had won. So yeah, hopefully he'll show up tomorrow and it'll be a good time. But I would say when it comes to shooting, my requirements for shooting for my own content is you have to show your face. You have to be comfortable showing your face. So that really minimizes the amount of people I can actually shoot content with, because a lot of people don't want to show their face. And I also don't shoot POV. I don't think it's a very good type of shooting. You actually need like a third person shooting for you.
Terrible
to have
angle.
good content.
Terrible angle. I'm not a fan of that. It's like
I've shot with a few amateur companies, and I've learned things over time that I have stricter requirements now for actually shooting with people and like my own content. So.
Okay. So you get. Go ahead, Adam. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I know. I was going to ask, like, when you're not shooting though, what do you like to do in your free time? You know what I mean? Like, are you more of an introvert, or do you go out a lot, or like when there's not COVID, I should say, like you.
Yeah, I'm a natural introvert. So I have 4 animals. I have 3 cats and a golden retriever. So I stay home with them.
They're not in the videos though, right?
No. No. They're always put away.
Never know.
And then I'm a very artsy person, so I paint and draw and decorate, and like for each season, like my partner is so cool. He lets me just put out new decorations for each season. So when fall hits, I'll rechange all the decorations.
Yeah.
He's like, you're kind of like Martha Stewart, but like the dirty version. Like,
you know what?
Awesome.
What you do is interesting alone. I really would like to get into the head of like a partner of someone who.
I know, right?
Because as a guy, I don't think I could personally wrap my mind. I don't know, man. I'd never been thrown into it before, but I don't know if I could wrap my mind around my partner doing that for a profession. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I just don't know if I have the psychological strength to do that. Yeah. But I guess you don't know until you're, I guess, there, right? So
I mean, it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
We opened our relationship up at 8 months.
Okay.
So we've been doing it for a long time. And it was a progression, definitely. We did a threesome and we liked that. And then I would suck off guys while he was gone and record it. And then I graduated to full sex after he was gone. And now he doesn't even want me to tell him when I see a guy. I just see a guy and then I'll record stuff. And then weeks later we'll be having fun. And I'll be like, hey, so I saw this guy a few weeks ago. And that's kind of how it's progressed.
So when you say open, do you allow him to go off and do what he wants to do as well? Or is it kind of just...
So he's not into that.
Okay.
He's more into me doing my thing.
Okay.
So
right,
he has his own fetishes, and I'm the first woman that he's dated that's actually been open to that sort of thing. So.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I guess. Now I've seen some girls in your videos too. How do you find them the same way you find the guys, or do you know them?
Yeah. So it's a little harder now to find people in general, especially women. It's really hard to find attractive women to shoot with that you want to, unless you're in a major hub like LA or Las Vegas. So I was lucky to find that woman in New York City when I went to be able to shoot with her. But yeah, I'm on a few sites and I've tried to find women on there as well, but it's hard.
Yeah.
To find women. I could go up to a guy in a bar right now and be like, "You want to go to the back room? I'll suck you off." But I could not do that with a woman. If I saw an attractive woman across the room, I would freeze up. I'd be like, "I don't even know how to talk to you." yeah.
Well, even that
It's intimidating.
proposition, I think
So.
it's a little odd because like a guy's always forward, and you'd assume a guy would be down for that, or he would be the one who approaches a girl and tries to come. But if a girl approaches a guy with the same proposition, typically, I'm speaking for myself, it could be a little. Because you don't expect it, you know what I mean? Even though they're legit and they're like, no, this is what I want to do. It takes a second for the male mind to process. I'm now being hunted. I was the hunter. Now I'm the prey, and it's like,
That's what I tell my partner. Like once things open back up, I'm going hunting.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to dress up super nice. I'm gonna go to a bar and I'm gonna go.
It's hunting season.
Yeah.
I thought
Take a rifle.
Ray, I thought this was something that like college boys make up in their dorm rooms. Like, there's this girl that goes to the bars and she's looking for dudes to bring home. Me and Adam would just think they were like the Charles River killer. Like, these are the girls that I don't trust them. They're gonna kill us. And throw our bodies.
I would just be like, let's go to the bathroom, because like in New Zealand, a lot of the bathrooms are unisex.
Okay.
So you can just go in there and have a good time and then leave.
So you do that with people you're not even gonna film with.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not to bring this up, but I've been on a few like apps to find people, and people think it's the craziest thing ever that an attractive woman just wants you to come over, bang them, and then leave. And that's all she wants from you, and the guys can't. It like blows their mind. They think I'm not real. They have me verified crazy ways. They're like, it can't be real that this attractive woman wants me to come on her and then leave.
You have to understand that's very, very hard to wrap your mind around. And one way or another, we've may have experienced this situation, and even when we're in the situation at the time, we still are trying to wrap our minds around it, knowing like all we could think of is that scene from Star Wars where it's like, this is a trap. Like,
I know.
Like,
it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I know.
You're hearing that in the back of your head the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So
I understand.
What I do professionally is a very small portion of what I do on a normal basis. I constantly have other things going on, constantly are seeing other guys and doing recreational stuff. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. So they do exist. Like people say this, the four-leaf clover. It does not exist. I know they do exist.
I guess you could say, Arty, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
I guess you could say so, yes. Yes, indeed.
You got your own site, Ray Live. It started at the end of June. I guess fans can watch your boy-girl scenes, photo shoots, three-ways, and gangbangs. How it's $19.95 a month. What else is on there?
Because I know a guy that probably will subscribe.
Yeah, really, just all of that. I'm constantly adding more content, so I shoot every week. So and I'm required under contract to have 2 new videos per month added to the site. So there'll always be more stuff coming on there.
Literally.
And I have a lot of things in the works. Actually, this weekend, I'm hoping to shoot some content this weekend. So we'll see.
See when
dope.
Adam gets his plane ticket out to Chicago, to Cleveland, or Columbus, Ohio, somewhere in Ohio. Just get to Ohio.
Yeah, just go to the armpit of the U.S.
No, Ohio's not that bad.
The Midwest.
This is worse places in Ohio.
It's so humid. It's terrible. Oh.
Yeah. I
terrible.
mean,
I go running and my hair's all poofed out.
I mean, you grew up in the
soaked and.
You grew up in the mountains, so I mean, going to like the prairie land of like the flats of Ohio must have been like kind of a change of life, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to high elevation mountains and dry air, so it's very different.
I would imagine. I mean, Idaho. What part of Idaho did you grow up in?
I was born in Salmon, Idaho, which is right on the Continental Divide.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We many years ago, me and my old co-host, we were in Vegas. We met these girls from Idaho. They were from Aveline, whatever that on the peninsula or the panhandle of Idaho, going up next to Washington State, whatever that is, like Aveline, something like that. It was like this.
Yeah.
They were from there, and I was like, wow, I've driven through Idaho before, but never actually seen a person. And I was actually shocked when I met.
They exist.
Yeah,
that's more like Wyoming, to be honest.
Yeah, Wyoming's the same way too.
There's no one there.
I don't think I've ever met someone. if Dick Cheney wasn't from Wyoming, I would not believe that anyone actually lived in Wyoming. To be honest with you.
Yep.
Well, I always say avoid states that are more like squares. Like go to squiggly states. That's where all the populations are. Like if it's just a square, no one's there.
Idaho is a squiggly state, though.
Colorado is getting very crowded.
That's
true.
Colorado's a very up and coming, I guess, state, right? I mean, especially with the I wouldn't call them hipsters, but more of the people who are like kind of, I don't know, free spirited, I guess.
Yeah, liberal.
Yeah.
It's very liberal. That's why I was able to do large events there.
Yeah.
The guys are open to it. So.
Which is cool. I mean, I guess Ohio, Ohio has the largest Amish population in the country, higher than Pennsylvania. Yeah. And once you get out of the inner cities of Ohio, once you leave Cincinnati and Columbus and Cleveland, you're in the middle of like farmland. There's like really nothing else in that states.
They must get it on. They must get it on a lot. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
They must bang like crazy.
Well, so a couple summers ago, I went out to Canton, Ohio for the NFL Hall of Fame inductee stuff. So I was out there, and literally Canton's probably like 45 minutes south of Cleveland, maybe an hour north of, Columbus. But there was nothing out there. I mean, there was a little strip mall there. So, like, after, like, we were done with the whole Hall of Fame stuff, like, I went out to this bar, and I had to walk down the hill from my hotel to go to this, like, strip mall. And there was, like, nothing there. But we were just driving for miles. And it's like, you drive for, like, I didn't realize how desolate Ohio is. Other than, it's pretty, people don't understand that, I guess, because they're so used to seeing, like, Cincinnati and Cleveland and how, like, industrial those towns are, and not really understanding that, like, that is like a speckle of the state, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, do you like it there? Is it something are you not? I'm going to go on a limb and say that once your significant other's done, you're probably going to ship out. But
yeah. So it's definitely not New Zealand. We were originally in New Zealand because he was doing his PhD there, and it just didn't work out with his advisor. But so we kind of switched New Zealand for Ohio.
That is now. Adam's been to Australia, and he could probably tell you that Australia, which is close to New Zealand, is probably very different than Ohio. Would you concur?
Yeah.
Damn, that's a disappointment. That's like telling your wife you're taking her to Paris for Valentine's Day, and then you end up like in Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah. But I mean, I got to live there for a year, so I'm not complaining. I mean, it was wonderful.
That sounds cool. So. Nice. Well, I guess in your industry, you can kind of pretty much go any way you really. Excuse me. Any way you really want to go.
Yeah.
I have an idea though. Wait, back to the Amish for 1 second.
Okay.
That should be the theme of your next video, Amish gangbang.
Oh no. Right? I feel like that would be really offensive though.
You think so? I mean,
I don't know.
I'm sure.
Come on. I mean,
they should never see it because, like,
I know they would never see it.
Exactly.
It's true. They don't have TVs. You're right, Ryan.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
That sounds pretty fun.
I'm sure.
All the long beards,
right?
And then I could be in the little bonnet.
Oh, there you go. I'm sure if you approach one of them,
are you gonna say
they wouldn't
like your hat.
Yeah.
I know. I like your beard.
Yanking at the beard. I'm sure they wouldn't even believe you if you came up to him and be like all I could think of is that movie, the Boland movie. What the hell was it called? Kingpin?
Oh, Kingpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You approach him and he's like, "We're gonna take you to win some money," and the guy's like, "I don't believe it." Like the girl shows up and she's like, "Yeah, I just want to jerk the entire community off." And then like,
man, I had the biggest crush on Vanessa Angel. I just like have to say that, man. Like,
in that movie, hot as hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, everything. Ray, what about like your time in the military? Were you like inspired to like join the military because it was like, guys,
yes.
Obviously?
Yeah, I'm interested in this. What was that like?
What was my time like in the military?
Yeah.
Were you inspired to join because you knew you would be like around, guys? Because obviously was that part of it?
No, the main reason I joined was kind of rebelling against my parents. I was a big runner in high school. I went to state multiple times in cross country and track, and I had 2 full rides to run in college. And I was like, do I want to run in college and hate it, more than I already do, because my parents were like crazy over the top about it and super like they'd make me work out when I wasn't supposed to just so I'd be really good. And so I didn't take either of the scholarships, and I wanted to go to college, and my parents were like, well, we won't pay for your school because you gave up your scholarships. And so 2 weeks later I was at MEPS and I became a medic in the Army, and I enjoyed my time. I got out as a sergeant and I learned a lot. I learned discipline, I learned what type of leader I wanted to be and what type of leader I did not want to be. I saw a lot of very bad leaders. So I definitely enjoyed my time in the military. I'm glad I'm out. I'm a lot less stressed. I had to deal with a lot of BS and a lot of soldiers who weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Like, the caliber of soldiers that they're making now is not as disciplined and as strict as it used to be. They're letting a lot of things slide, which I don't think is right. Like, I'd have soldiers show up and they couldn't pass the physical fitness test. Like, that's a requirement. You should be able to do that. Yeah. My main reason I got out was like the definition of insanity. I wanted so much to change, and I was working so hard to get things to change, but I was so low ranked. No matter what I did, no matter how good my squad was, nothing would change because it was from like high up, and I was too low to make a difference.
Were you deployed at all overseas, or did you kind of stay domestic?
No, I didn't get deployed.
No.
I went a few places, like I went to Guatemala
and
a few other places and helped medically over there, which was awesome.
That's kind of cool. So you get to, I mean, so you're kind of like in the, I don't know if it's technically, is that the MASH unit? Is like, all I can think of is like the show MASH where they get all the, the medics and stuff like that, which I guess it's a different perspective of war, I guess, of any military presence, I guess, because you're not the ones holding the gun, even though I'm sure they trained you to shoot. I'm sure you know how to probably take out a guy 100 yards away with a automatic weapon, which is kind of intimidating and cool at the same time. But at the same time, you could stitch them up if you needed to.
Close my eyes and still disassemble a weapon.
That's badass right there. There you go.
Yeah.
So, Boot camp gangbang. That's another one. See, I'm throwing all these ideas your way with Ray. It's
okay, so that brings it to the point, Adam. That's a great point, because when you're in the military, you're very restricted, so you couldn't really do any of your stuff you wanted to do, technically, right? Or I don't want to incriminate you or anything, but
I was very promiscuous as a private. I had sex with lots of people in my unit. The other women in the unit knew me as the woman who had sex with lots of people.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as I progressed up the ranks, I started to do that less and less at my unit. I still did it, outside of it, but it wasn't as prevalent at my unit. But
I see.
I had sex with sergeants, privates, lots of other people when I was low ranked.
Oh, wow.
Kind of just
Jesus.
in barracks rooms with other people in the room.
I've heard that's pretty common, actually, for women in the military, actually. Like, I know a lot of people have been in the military, and when they see a girl in the military, they're like, I would never date a girl who's been in the military. They usually,
I went to an all-boy, pretty much a 95% male college, and yes, when we seen the one girl that walked in, we were... Yeah, I can understand that. So.
Feeding time in the Shark Tank.
Basically, it's like a chum's trail.
I would be content. I'd be happy.
Yeah, and a lot of these girls were, from what I understand. So
yeah.
Jeez. Well, that is what it is. So Ray, tell us, where can we find you? Where can people subscribe to you? Let the audience experience the Ray.
Okay. Well, let's start. I am on Twitter, Rock Porn All Star. It's the same for Pornhub, Rock Porn All Star. And then on Instagram, Ray of Sunshine 529. Okay. And then I am on Reddit, but I don't really post there anymore because I kind of hate Reddit because the people there are super mean.
Yeah.
So you can find me Ray on Reddit. And then I have my new website out, ray.live. And then you can subscribe to my Fan Centro and see my premium Snap or premium Instagram.
And for everyone out there who may want to participate, do you have like an option on the website where you can subscribe to submit your resume, I guess, or is it kind of like you'll post something sporadically and be like, hey, we're looking whatever?
So I am on FetLife. You can find me on FetLife, Ray on FetLife. That's where I post most of my events, recreational stuff. Like I have a birthday that's coming up next week.
Happy
and
birthday.
I have a birthday gangbang set up for my birthday. So, yeah.
Nothing says happy birthday like a birthday gangbang, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what me and my partner get each other as sex stuff for our birthdays. We don't really dive too much into presents. We're just like, here's this sex thing you've been wanting, and that's your present. So.
I've been struggling for months to figure out when we get my wife for her birthday, which is next week. And, I wish it was as easy as that. I really do.
Yeah. Well, it's not easy because you have to like get the guys and make sure they show up. It's like herding cats. Like
it really is. You're like a rodeo.
It's like
you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
It's like
we're cattle. Thanks.
You're gonna show up. You're just gonna show up. I'm gonna suck your dick.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a great time. You're gonna leave. But a lot of guys like if you're trying to do an event, you over plan.
Yeah.
So normally at least 50 guys flake, or not 50, but 50% of the guys flake.
Do you set up like a craft service table for to have a snack in between, or just
And we usually have drinks, and it's a good time.
There you go. Yeah, I figure most people maybe flake out. They think they want to do it, and then they realize, but at least get 50.
I would
they
say
sign up out of spite, and then their girlfriend reels them back in.
The main thing, for anyone trying to do this women-wise is you have to be really resilient. So you have to be able to, if you have a bad event, like I set up an event in Portland and I had 84 people sign up, RSVP to it, and only 15 showed up.
Oh, God.
So I was super disappointed. I was like, this event was supposed to break my record. It was supposed to be awesome.
Yeah.
But sometimes if that happens to women who have just started doing this, they won't try again.
Yeah.
Because they worked it up. Because getting gangbanged is already super stressful and you have to work yourself up to it. That if you don't get the numbers or if something bad happens, then you might not be willing to do it again. So the main thing for anyone trying to do this is you have to be resilient and you have to take the losses when they come. So
there you go. Can't say better than that. Well, all you listening out there, check out Ray on all our avenues. There may be a listener who listens to or watches the show who may be one of your co-stars. So you never know. Anything's possible. But
definitely.
We'd definitely like to have you back on.
Okay.
Later on, we'll catch up on some stuff, and we'll be very curious to see how this all progresses. It's a very interesting situation. I mean,
it really is.
I would say you're probably the most open adult film style we've had in the show so far, which is awesome. So we really get to deep into the inside of the whole situation. So it's kind of cool.
Deep in there, yes.
Yeah. So,
that's good.
Well, there you go. This has been an interesting night, fellas. I mean, we started the show at 7. It's almost God, it's late.
It's 10.
10 o'clock. We've had inventors, athletes, musicians. Taurus, I don't know what happened to him. He fell off, and he was going to talk to us and chat with us, but we'll have him back on. I think, Brian, you'll work that out. I'm sure you'll get him back on the program. But, Ray, it was a pleasure talking to you. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it's good talking to you, Ray. It was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you guys, too, and thank you for wanting me to be on the show.
Hell yeah. And for all you guys watching on Facebook Live, thank you for tuning in tonight. If you're watching it on YouTube or you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, thank you. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and I guess we'll see you guys next week. Have a good week, and thanks again. Bye.